Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Chemistry Basics. Today we are going to see some multiple choice questions on natural products which contains terpenoids and alkaloids. So without wasting time, let's go for the first question. The empirical formula of isoprene unit is. So all of you know the structure of isoprene unit. So it's a structure of isoprene unit. So it contains 5 carbon, and if you count the hydrogens there, so how many hydrogens are there? So 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 2 7 plus 1 8. So C5H8 will be the answer. So option B is the correct answer. So let's go for the next question. So the IUPAC name of isoprene unit. So just we have seen the structure of isoprene unit, and now we have to nomenclate it. So longest parent chain is 4 carbon chain is there, and at the carbon number 1 and 3 double bonds are started, so definitely it's a 1,3-butadiene, and at the carbon number 2 it's a methyl group present, and therefore the name of this isoprene unit becomes 2-methyl 1,3-butadiene, and therefore the correct answer is A, 2-methyl 1,3-butadiene. What's the next question? The terpenoid citral is isolated from. So turpentine oil, eucalyptus oil, lemongrass oil, or lavender oil. So citral is isolated from lemongrass oil. Okay. So let's go for the next. The terpenoids having aroma of rose is geraniol. So generally so many soaps are there which containing the geraniol having a smell of rose. So terpenoid having aroma of rose is a geraniol. So geraniol is the answer of this question. So let's go for the next. Steam distillation isolation method is not ideal because, so option A, it's high cost, option B, it's not handy, option C, it undergoes side reactions, or it requires a highly expert staff. So steam distillation isolation method used a steam. So higher temperature is there. So it may undergo some side reactions like decarboxylation and decomposition reaction. And therefore, it's not an ideal method. So correct answer is C, that is it undergoes side reactions. Let's go for the next. The solvent used in solvent extraction method, whether it is toluene, carbolic acid, both A and B, or petroleum ether. So for terpenoids and alkaloids extraction, so usually in solvent extraction method, petroleum ether is used as a solvent. So option D is the right answer. Cholesterol is an example of whether it is hemiterpenoid, monoterpenoid, diterpenoid, or triterpenoid. So cholesterol consists of nearly 27 carbon. So it is an example of triterpenoid. So let's see the structure of cholesterol. This is the structure of cholesterol, so which has that 27 carbon, and hence it's a triterpenoid. So let's go for the next. Dash dash is an example of monoterpenoids. So out of these four, which is a monoterpenoid, that we have to find out. So testosterone, estradiol, vitamin D, or menthol. So all first three, testosterone, estradiol, and vitamin D, these are the diterpenoids. And menthol is as it has nearly 10 carbons there. Okay. So let's go for the next question. Which is an example of bicyclic monoterpenoid? So out of these four, camphor, menthol, citral, and limonene, a bicyclic monoterpenoid is a camphor, and its structure is like this. So see here, so there are two cycles are present. So this one cycle and this is the other cycle, and that's why it is a bicyclic monoterpenoid. Let's go for the next. Special isoprene rule is stated by which fellow? So out of these four, so Khan, Ingold, Philog and Kekulé. So Ingold stated the special isoprene role. Okay. Let's go for the next. So the COOH group is detected by treatment with simple COOH group detection in terpenoids and alkaloids can be detected by NaHCO3. So that's the correct answer. So not HCl, NaCl or SOCl2. So 10% NaHCO3 is treated with the carboxylic acid group. Okay. So let's go for the next. Natural rubber. So natural rubber is whether it is a monoterpenoid, diterpenoid, triterpenoid or polyterpenoid. So natural rubber is a polymer. So definitely it is a polyterpenoid. Haloform test is used for detection of dash dash group in terpenoids. So usually haloform tests are used for the detection of methyl ketones. So if you see in the options, A option is acidic group, then B option is oxo group, that is the COCH2, and third option is the methyl ketone option, and fourth option is the alcoholic OH group. So correct answer is COCH3. So this is the haloform reaction. So if you see here, this is the COCH3 group. It can be reacted with a basic medium in presence of halogen, and it forms a bromoform here. Okay. So in this way, we can easily find out this particular methyl group is removed from the carbonyl group and which is converted into a bromoform, and hence we can easily detect the acetyl group or methyl ketone group by using haloform test. Okay, so let's go for the next. So aldehyde group can be distinguished from ketonic group by dash dash test. So which is the test which distinguishes between aldehyde and ketone? So whether it is A FeCl3, B silver mirror test, C ozonolysis or D performic acid test. So the answer is silver mirror test, one of the characteristic detection test of the aldehyde group. Okay, so let's go for the next. So citral is a dash dash. So whether it is A bicyclic monoterpenoid, monocyclic monoterpenoid, acyclic monoterpenoid or tricyclic monoterpenoid. So citral is a acyclic monoterpenoid. It's open chain structure. If you see the structure of the citral is like this, there is no any cycle present. So always remember that citral is a acyclic monoterpenoid. Next question. Citral on oxidation with moist Ag2O gives gyranic acid, indicates the presence of. So moist Ag2O is a mild oxidizing agent and which oxidizes aldehyde groups to acid. So definitely a citral contains an aldehyde group which can oxidizes to gyranic acid. So our correct answer is B aldehyde group. Okay, so let's go for the next question. Citral is synthesized by. So four methods of preparation are given here: A Hoffman reaction, B MDES degradation, C Barbier-Bauwald synthesis, or D Nagai synthesis. So out of these four, citral is synthesized by a Barbier-Bauwald synthesis. I have made a one detailed video on Barbier-Bauwald synthesis, that is the synthesis of citral. So you can check that video. The link is given in the description also. Okay, so let's go for the next question. Ozonolysis of citral gives acetone as one of the product, indicates the presence of. Ozonolysis reaction, very important reaction is there, ozonolysis. So ozonolysis of any alkene, if it gives a acetone, so when it will give a acetone, when there is a presence of geminal dimethyl group, because in acetone two methyl groups are present on a carbonyl. So without geminal dimethyl group you won't get the acetone. So geminal dimethyl group is the correct answer of this question. So see the reaction. So if you have a citral here, C10H16O, and if you are doing the ozonolysis reaction, so there is a formation of acetone, then levolinaldehyde and glyoxal is there. Okay, so acetone, here is a formation of acetone. So these two methyl groups are present on one and the same carbon, and that's nothing but the geminal dimethyl group. Okay, so correct answer is geminal dimethyl group. So let's go for the next. Citral on heating with KHSO4 potassium bisulfate forms whether it is a geraniol, oxalic acid, parathymine or glyoxal. So potassium hydrogen sulfate is a dehydrating agent and it cyclizes the citral to form a parathymine. So let's see the reaction, how reaction is going. So it's a simple, citral is there and when you are heating it with potassium bisulfate, so you'll get the parathymine. So correct answer is a parathymine. So let's go for the next. In structure degradation is applicable to those heterocyclic rings in which. So very important question. MDes degradation is applicable to those heterocyclic ring in which. What will be the answer? Whether it is alpha hydrogen present, alpha hydrogen absent, whether it is beta hydrogen present or beta hydrogen absent. So MDes degradation is applicable only to those rings in which beta hydrogen is absent. Always remember that this is the MDes degradation which is used for the determination of nature of a ring or heterocyclic ring. Okay, let's go for the next. Citral is optically active or inactive. So we have seen the structure of the citral in which there is no chiral center present. So definitely citral is optically inactive. If you see the structure of citral, so see there is no any chiral center present. No any carbon is attached to 4 different groups. Therefore, it is optically inactive. So chiral center is absent. Let's go for the next question. Number of isoprene units present in sequiterpenoid. So in sequiterpenoid, there are 3 isoprene units are present. So total 15 carbons present in the sequiterpenoid, and that's why. So 3 is the correct answer. If you have only one isoprene unit, then it is a hemiterpenoid. If you have a 2 isoprene unit, then it is a monoterpenoid. If you have a 3 isoprene unit, it's a sequiterpenoid, and if it has a 4 isoprene unit, so it becomes a diterpenoid. Okay, so let's go for the next question. Detection of unsaturation can be determined by. So option A, bromination, addition of nitrosyl chloride, C only A, or D both A and B. So detection of unsaturation can be determined by bromination, hydrogenation, addition of nitrosyl chloride. All different types of the reactions are used for the detection of the unsaturation. But here bromination and nitrosyl chloride, both reactions can be used for the detection of the unsaturation, and hence option D is the correct option. So both A and B. So let's go for the next question. Beta carotene is A monoterpenoid, B diterpenoid, C triterpenoid, or D tetraterpenoid. So let's see the structure of beta carotene. See the structure of beta carotene is a very long chain structure. So generally it contains near about 40 carbons. So hence it will be a tetraterpenoid. So if you just count here, so this is the 6 carbons, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So when I'm going to the half of this, so nearly 20 carbons are there. So 20, 20, 40. So it is a tetraterpenoid there. It's a beta carotene. So let's go for the next question. Terminal alkenes on ozonolysis forms a dash dash as one of the product. So terminal alkene means at the end there is a CH2 group. So definitely on ozonolysis it will form what? So it is a formaldehyde. So it is a formaldehyde. Okay. Let's see the next question. Terminal. Let's see the next question. Terminal alkenes on ozonolysis forms dash dash as one of the product. So terminal alkene means at the end there is a CH2 group. At the end of carbon-carbon double bond there is a CH2 group. So which on ozonolysis forms which product? So options are given here: acetaldehyde, acetone, formaldehyde and formic acid. So what will be the correct answer? Formaldehyde. Okay. Let's go for the next question. Alkene on reaction with performic acid forms dash dash. So performic acid, it is a acid used for conversion of alkenes into epoxides. So the correct option is A, that's the epoxide. Let's see the reaction also. So this is the carbon-carbon double bond. If you are reacting with a performic acid, so you will get the epoxide here. Okay. So this is the correct answer, A, epoxide. Let's go for the next question. 27. Citral shows an intense peak at 238 nanometer, indicates the presence of dash dash. So it's a UV spectrum which shows 238 nanometer peak. So which is the characteristic of a conjugated double bond. So conjugated double bond, whether it is a conjugated aldehyde or non-conjugated aldehyde or non-conjugated diene. Now we know that in citral, so there is a aldehyde group and which is a conjugated one, and therefore option A is the correct option. So see here the structure. So that double bond is in conjugation with this carbonyl or aldehyde group here, and that's why conjugated aldehyde is the correct structure. There is no conjugated diene present. Okay, so therefore the correct option is this one, that's the conjugated aldehyde. So let's go for the next. Citral on reduction forms. So citral contains a aldehyde group. So aldehydes on reduction forms the alcohols. So out of these four options, so geraniol, geranic acid, paracymene and leolinaldehyde. So A is the correct option as it has a alcohol. So geraniol is the correct option. Let's go for the next. Alkaloids are. So how alkaloids are behaves? Whether they behave like a organic acid, organic bases, phenols or neutral. So alkaloids name itself suggests that so they are similar to alkali, and alkali means a organic basis. So correct option is organic basis. So let's go for the next. Alkaloid used as an anti-malarial drug. So the alkaloid which is used as an anti-malarial drug. So which is that drug or which is that alkaloid? So option A morphine, option B quinine, option C nicotine, option D ephedrine. So correct option is quinine. So quinine is the anti-malarial drug. So always remember that. So just now in the COVID also initially that hydroxychloroquine is the drug used for the COVID-19, but it should be taken under the prescription of the doctors only. Okay. So let's go for the next. That's the question number 31. So black pepper contains dash dash alkaloid. So whether it is a morphine, quinine, piperine or ephedrine. So black pepper contains a piperine alkaloid. Okay. So let's go for the next. Morphine can be used as, whether it is used as antipyretic, analgesics, heart stimulant or tranquilizer. So morphine is used as analgesics. So B is the correct answer. So let's go for the next. Castor bean seeds are the source of So castor bean seeds contains which alkaloid? So castor bean seeds contains recinin is the alkaloid. Okay. So the next question, presence of methoxy group and their number can be determined by, so if terpenoids or alkaloids contains a methoxy group OCH3, how it will be determined? So which method is applicable there? So whether it is A. Herzig-Meyer method, B. Zeisel's method, C. Hofmann exhaustive methylation, or D. von Braun degradation. So the correct answer is Zeisel's method, so which is used for determination of methoxy group. That's the number of methoxy group. So what's that method? So in this method, the substrate or alkaloid that is treated with a hydroiodic acid to form alkaloid, so to form alcohol and methyl iodide, and resultant formed methyl iodide then treated with silver nitrate to form a silver iodide plus methyl nitrate. So by taking the weight of silver iodide, we can easily find out how many number of methyl groups present in the alkaloid. So this is about the Zeisel's method, which is a gravimetric technique. Okay, so let's go for the next. The question number 35 is presence of N-methyl group. Now N-methyl group so can be determined by which method? So again the same four options are given there. Herzig-Meyer method, Zeisel's method, Hofmann exhaustive methylation and MDES degradation. And now the correct answer is Herzig-Meyer method. So Herzig-Meyer method is applicable for the determination of N-methyl group. And what's the method there? So see here again very similar method is there. So N-methyl group, this is the alkaloid in which N-methyl group is present. You have to heat with a HI hydroiodic acid to form a methyl iodide, and resultant form methyl iodide then again reacted with a silver nitrate to form a methyl nitrate and silver iodide. And that silver iodide then weighed, and by taking that weight we can easily find out the number of methyl group present in alkaloid. So again it is a gravimetric technique. Okay. Next question is ephedrine consumes 2 moles of methyl iodide to form a quaternary salt. Hence ephedrine contains dash dash. So here the question is asked about the nature or the type of the amine, whether it is a primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine or tertiary alcohol is given there. Obviously, so methyl iodide forms a quaternary salt, so definitely it is a amine and it's not a alcohol. So out of these three, primary, secondary and tertiary, which amine will be there? So usually when tertiary amine is there, and if it converted into a quaternary ammonium salt, it requires only 1 mole of methyl iodide. Secondary amine will require the 2 moles of methyl iodide, and primary amine will require 3 moles of methyl iodide to form a quaternary ammonium salt. So correct answer is secondary amine. So see the reaction. So here this is the ephedrine. So it takes the 2 moles of methyl iodide to form a quaternary ammonium salt, and therefore the correct option will be the secondary amine, or we can say ephedrine contains a secondary amine group. Let's go for the next question. Ephedrine on oxidation forms a ketone with the same number of carbon atoms, indicate the presence of. Obviously option A it's a primary alcohol, B secondary alcohol, C tertiary alcohol and D the aldehyde group. So now the product is a ketone, so definitely it comes from the alcohols because oxidation reaction is going on. So we have to find out whether it is a primary alcohol, secondary alcohol or tertiary alcohol. And all we know that primary alcohols on oxidation gives a ketone, sorry, primary alcohols on oxidation gives the aldehydes, secondary alcohols on oxidation gives ketones, and tertiary alcohols requires a very harsh condition. In normal condition, tertiary alcohols generally do not undergo the oxidation reaction. So here ephedrine forms a ketone with the same number of carbon atoms. So definitely it will be a secondary alcohol. If tertiary alcohol will undergo oxidation reaction, there is a less number of carbon atom. Okay. Next question is ephedrine. Next question is ephedrine on oxidation forms a ketone with same number of carbon atoms, indicate the presence of. So if you see here, so options given: primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol, and aldehyde group. So when any alcoholic compound which undergo oxidation can form carbonyl compounds. If you have a primary alcohol, it gives the aldehyde. If you have a secondary alcohol, it gives a ketone with the same number of carbon. And if you have a tertiary alcohol at very hard or harsh condition, strongly oxidizing agents when used, it will also give you the ketone but with a less number of carbon atoms. So correct answer will be a secondary hydroxylic group. So ephedrine contains a secondary alcoholic group. So let's go for the next question. Number 38. Ephedrine on oxidation with KMNO4 forms dash dash. So four options are given there: phthalic acid, formic acid, benzoic acid, and benzaldehyde. So what will be the correct answer? So it's a benzoic acid that tells you ephedrine contains a benzene segment or benzene ring. So this is the reaction. This is the ephedrine oxidation with a KMNO4. You will get benzoic acid as a product. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Ephedrine is optically active or inactive? So for optical activity, you require a presence of chiral center. So this is the structure of ephedrine. So if you see here, hydroxyl group is attached to this carbon. So it also has a chiral center. Here also this carbon is attached to four different groups. It's a methyl, then NH group, then here is the COH group, and here is the hydrogen. Fourth group is the hydrogen. So two chiral centers are present here. So as two chiral centers are present, definitely ephedrine is a optically active compound. And now the next question: von Braun degradation is applicable to saturated dash dash. So one of the important question. So von Braun degradation is also used for the determination of the cyclic amines. Okay, so but which cyclic amines, whether it is option A secondary cyclic amine, tertiary cyclic amine, both A and B, or acyclic tertiary amine. So obviously it is not applicable to acyclic one, but it is applicable to cyclic secondary amine and cyclic tertiary amine. Both can be checked by using this particular von Braun degradation. So option C will be the correct answer, that is both A and B. Okay, so thank you very much.